Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LTL podcast. It's Saturday night and it is August 26, 2023. If this is your first time over here on LTL podcast, we're mainly a true crime channel, but we also cover or uncover scams, deception. We get into all the juicy news over here. So we want to welcome you in. If you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the stream a like, and comment after this video posts. And we always like to see if you're watching this on replay, just comment hashtag replay. I want to welcome in all the live chat. I see some moderators hanging here. I have a lot of channel members in here this evening. Welcome in. You are my supporters. You're always here for me, and I do ultimately appreciate that. Tonight, we're going to get into a little bit of the Anthony Farah Timepiece Gentleman news. It's been a little bit of an interesting crossover here for my audience because they haven't really been exposed to this that much, but this has been a latest scandal, possibly a $5 million crime. And I knew someday, because I used to cover Timepiece Gentleman about a year, probably just over a year ago on this channel. And I knew it someday it would come back around, and it finally has. So what we're going to do this evening is, for my audience here, and probably the viewers that will click on this video when it posts, is we're going to do a little bit of a refresher as to the famous Blackout video. Now, my audience is probably saying, what are you talking about? And what we're going to do is do that playthrough so you get an understanding of where things first really went sideways for Anthony Farah and Timepiece Gentleman. But before we do that, I'm going to get you caught up actually in the present first. I found some videos here today of some people that have recently come out and have talked about Anthony scamming them, and they have been making videos about this. I have two videos that I do want to play, and then we're going to get into, I have an article that I want to read to give a little bit of background as to what the Blackout video was, and then we're actually going to play through that Blackout video. It's about an hour long, and it's very interesting, and it will grip you right to your seats, and I will do some commentary for you to kind of explain to what is going on. And we're going to sit back and have a lot of fun on this Saturday night. I have nowhere to go, so we're going to get through this stream tonight. I hope that you'll all stick with me. And I want to do this as well, too. Anybody out there that has been affected by this person in some way, form, or fashion, meaning Anthony Farah and Timepiece Gentleman, please reach out to me. I would love to hear your story. I would love to have you come on air and tell your story. And my email is letstalklivepodcast@gmail.com. So without further ado, let's get into the first video here that I've actually found today. And this is from a gentleman's channel called The Aristocrat. And I hope he doesn't mind that I'm playing this video. I'll give him the video credit there, and we'll play his experience with Anthony Farah.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Aristocrat channel. My name is Rohan. For those in the watch community, you've probably seen one of all the videos that have been posted online, news articles that have been coming out around Anthony Fair and the Timepiece gentleman. I'm not going to stir up some drama with this video or get too much into the details, but long story short, everything that he's been doing, everything that he's been posting on YouTube seems to be somewhat of a facade, and now he's openly come out to admitting that he is essentially in a massive hole, $5 million to be exact. He's lost a bunch of people's watches. I don't even know if what he's saying is true or not. At this point, it's kind of hard to believe what he says. His reputation and credibility has definitely taken a hit over the last few years with all these things that he's pulled, this probably being one of the worst ones. If he is in fact dealing with mental issues and depression and whatnot, obviously as an individual, I wish him the best. But for those that he is screwed over, I hope that there's something that I can do to help. If there's anything that I can do, please let me know. You guys are my priority over him. That being said, why I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to bring to everybody's attention something that I've been observing over the last few years with the watch community, specifically with the gray market. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because I am unlike a lot of the other YouTube channels there in the sense that I am not a gray market watch dealer. I am just a consumer and enthusiast, just like most of you watching this. Most of the people that have these channels have their own agenda. Their channel is their main source of marketing, right? So naturally, they want to try and control a certain narrative. They're not going to portray themselves in a bad light. Unlike most of them, I can come out here, I can speak freely, I can just give you my opinion. You can agree or disagree with it. That's the best part about this platform. One of the, and particularly why I felt this was the best time to bring this out is because of what has transpired with Anthony and the watches that he's been owning. And that is this concept of consignment. Consignment has basically taken over the watch industry and the gray market. And this is not something that was so prevalent until the last year or so when the watch market started going downhill. I would say, March 2022, when the watch market started going downhill, watch dealers were happy to give you a price on the spot and pay you on the spot for your watch. And the reason why is because they could buy, let's say, your Daytona for 30 grand. And then next week they'd feel comfortable knowing that it's gone up to 31, 32. So in a way, they're making an investment and banking on the fact that with the way prices were going up, they're going to see an increase and return on their investment immediately. Fast forward to where we are now, where watch prices have been a little bit more volatile. I mean, they're still trading well above retail, but the point is more the watch price for yesterday may not be what the watch price is today, and more so in a negative light. And because of this, it has made these dealers feel super empowered to now move to this consignment model. Now, there's nothing particularly wrong with the mental model of consignment, right? Somebody holds onto your watch, they sell it, they take a cut. Perfectly fine because it makes both parties happy. The problem is exactly what has been highlighted with what went wrong with Anthony. Consignment is not a safe model for us consumers that are the ones providing the watch. These companies will provide you with these consignment agreements that are coming through DocuSigns and make you feel comfortable, make you think that this is a secure, legit way of transacting and doing business. But at the end of the day, all it is just a legal document, or I don't even know if you can say it's a legal document. It's a document that they are just writing that so-and-so is responsible for your watch. And in the case of what's going on with Anthony now, I don't even think that most of these companies are insuring those watches that they're getting on consignment, because why would they, right? If I'm taking your watch on consignment, I'm hoping to sell it within a week. I'm not going to pay to get your watch insured and then take it off my insurance and pay for that insurance over that week or 3 days. I'm banking on the fact that it's quickly in with me and it's quickly out. I give you your share, I take my share, right? Now, again, I recognize that this is a broad generalization, right? Maybe most of the companies out there are putting money behind this and are insured in the case of Anthony, where something like this happens and they're able to pay you back through an insurance claim. But is that a risk you're willing to take, right? It feels like over the last year, we have basically empowered the entire gray market to just run their businesses off consignment, where it appears to be no risk in their hands at all, right? And again, this is just an observation I've made. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's a great choice. So if you're somebody who's interested in looking to buy or specifically sell their watch, I would be very cautious about this approach. Personally, I would not go forward with it. And as a community, I feel like we have the ability to make change, right? Move away from this consignment model and go back to what the old days were, which is put the watch dealer on the spot, make them purchase it at a price that we agree on. At the end of the day, we're the ones providing them with the supply, and we're the ones taking on the risk as the consignee, right? And that's where we, I feel like, as a watch community, just need to be a little bit better and move away from this and have them recognize that, hey, we want to be paid up front. You take your money, I'll take my money, we're done right on the spot. I don't want to be sitting in a different state with you having my watch 500 miles across the country and thinking to myself that, oh, because you tell me you don't wear consignment watches, oh, because you tell me that you're taking good care of them, I just have to believe that, right? Cut it off right there and there, take your paycheck and get done with it. Guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to voice this opinion because it's something that I've been thinking about for a while. As you can hear in my voice, it kind of frustrates me. I'm not particularly happy with where we are in the watch world around this topic.
All right, so we'll just back out here. That'll give you a little bit about how like consignment works. And I just want to recognize this $1.99 Basil's Bezel. $1.99 says sleight of hand watch trading. Now you see it. Thank you so much for that. It's like this is what happened was Anthony took in all these watches of consignment and he was kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. And it just kept shifting and shifting and shifting. And he was overspending, but he couldn't pay back this guy here. So then he would get the next shipment of merchandise in, maybe sell the stuff that was there before or something that was current. And then he needed to pay back this person. So his overspending, not watching his books, put himself in this position and put a lot of these clients in this position. That's scam. That's a scam. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people lost their ass. You're sending out all of these very expensive timepieces on trust that when it sells, you will get your money and then he will take his percentage for basically being the middleman. And he took this merchandise, your stuff, and basically flew around the country with it and was making very poor decisions, extremely poor decisions. So, there are great businesses out there that have great consignment models, and I don't shame on any particular business that does consignment. All the reputable ones to look up. I'm not going to get into that, but I would look up if it's a legitimate business. I would say one that has been in business for over 20 years, and I'm sure that you know who I'm talking about. Those are the businesses that I would trust. Yeah, I mean, cold water makes up the exact same point that I'm making right now. Consignment is a standard in all forms of sale. Anthony's a bad apple, and there are more of him out there for sure. However, do your due diligence on who you consign and consign with, and you're fine. I absolutely agree. Peruka says TPG is the Ponzi gentleman. Absolutely. 100%. Follow up with Cold again. Cold Water says, excuse me, dealers will pay cash for watches, but at a reduced rate. That's why, as long as there's trust and integrity, consignment is fine. That nets clients that most, especially in a down market. I completely agree. And I'm not here to pick on the gray. I just want to make sure that we understand this. I am not here to pick on any of the gray market at all. I get it. People have legitimate businesses in this. And just like Cold Water was saying, go out and do your due diligence. I don't know why, as many times as this guy stumbled and fumbled and fell, that people would continue to trust him. And I think that is just by his criminal nature and the way that he talks to people, a way that he makes people feel special. I'm going to tell you, he's a hell of a salesperson. He can sell himself. He can sell a lot of people out of their money. He's very good on social media. When he talks, people listen. And if you're hearing one of his shticks for like the first time and you're a business investor, you might say, hey, this guy sounds pretty good, the things that he's coming up with. But like us that have been around this for years, for the last 2 years and heard the way that he operates, and we hear the new shticks, we just go, and we roll our eyes and say, just another one of those. It's just another one of those. But let's get into another video here where someone recently came out, and then we'll get into the Blackout video. All right, this is from Noel. I think it's Lorenza. He's a CPA. Give him a shout out on his video. He's been doing some TBG videos over there.
Today, I've got an interesting story for you. A consignment client of Anthony Farrer of the Timepiece Gentleman reached out to me, and he wanted to tell his story of how he had been ripped off. He wanted to remain anonymous, but he gave me all of the details of his transaction with Anthony. He's even provided me with a copy of the consignment agreement, which I've been trying to get my hands on for the longest time. Later in the video, I'll share the actual consignment agreement and tips on how to avoid getting scammed by a con artist, confidence man, crook, swindler. They're all the same. So this guy who wants to remain anonymous, let's call him Mr. Pink. That's a Reservoir Dogs reference in case you didn't know. Great movie, by the way. Mr. Pink engaged with Anthony Farrer to sell his watch on consignment. Now, this was from March of 2022, interestingly enough, which suggests to me that this bad business behavior
go to Reddit, dude,
has been going on for quite a while now.
Reddit.
As a side note, this is why it's important to speak up and tell your story so others don't get scammed, but I digress. So Mr. Pink made a deal with Anthony. Mr. Pink had a Gerard Perregaux Laureato skeleton, 18-karat rose gold, brand new. At the time, it was a high piece and probably worth about $80,000 to $90,000. In exchange, Anthony would trade a Rolex Bluesy Gold Submariner and a Rolex Root Beer GMT and give Mr. Pink the difference. Those are beautiful watches, as you can see here. They were represented to Mr. Pink as being mint complete, which in the watch world has a very specific meaning. Unpolished, box and papers, all the links, and mint condition. Anthony was supposed to sell Mr. Pink's Gerard Perregaux, then apply the sales price to Anthony's 2 Rolex watches, take his commission, then pay Mr. Pink the remaining balance. Sounds like a straightforward enough deal, right? When Mr. Pink received the Rolex watches, to his surprise, they had both been polished. The Bluesy was missing the box and everything that went with a box. It also had a major nick on the first link above the 12 o'clock position, and it only came with the serial number card. To any watch collector, this in no way means complete or mint. The root beer was also polished and had 2 links missing and had no box and papers. Just so you know, the difference between a mint condition, unpolished watch with box and papers can be thousands of dollars and even tens of thousands of dollars different for a watch that's been polished and without box and papers. Anthony did send the 2 Rolex watches, but keep in mind, that was at a misrepresented condition. Mr. Pink thought of that as a good faith deposit towards the balance that was due to him. Mr. Pink complained about the condition of the Rolex watches. He and Anthony went back and forth via messages, which I've read, but Anthony offered no satisfactory resolution for Mr. Pink. It was around that time Anthony Farrer of the Timepiece Gentleman ghosted Mr. Pink. He never heard anything more about the Gerard Perregaux, if it had sold, and if so, for what price. In my opinion, this is a breach of the consignment agreement. Anthony just disappeared and blocked Mr. Pink on
Mookie,
YouTube,
we're talking coach.
Insulted him publicly and on his YouTube channel. Being quite livid, as you can imagine, Mr. Pink went to California to confront him face to face. Now, Mr. Pink isn't one to be easily intimidated. He was right there in front of Anthony, standing face to face on the front steps of the Timepiece Gentleman's South Rodeo Drive office. According to Mr. Pink, Anthony was apologetic and he swore up and down that he was going to make it right with Mr. Pink.
Oh, by the way, if you want to watch some really good parody videos, go check out Mookie's channel. He does some really great Timepiece Gentleman parodies. Yeah, he does some really good stuff over there. He's You don't understand. This has been kind of the ongoing joke in the watch world. I know I'm kind of crossbreeding crowds tonight, and it's really nice to see some of the old Timepiece crew back here. But I have my true crime friends in here. I have my Timepiece friends in here, and we're kind of all hanging out in the chat tonight. And there's a lot of ongoing jokes you'll see in the chat with the Timepiece guys and ladies, if there's Timepiece ladies in here. They'll use words like Travis and Coach. These are just all ongoing running jokes. It's just a great group of people that just are like, they just love to have a good time. They're just really good people that are into some pretty cool shit, and they just love to have a good time. And I marvel at some of the watches that they own, because it's money that I would never be able to have in my life. But they are just some of the most down-to-earth people. And I really do respect the watch community. And they're cool people. They're very cool people in the sense of, it doesn't matter, how expensive the piece is or whatever. If it's special to you, they want to hear your story. They don't shit on any. I mean, they call there's certain there's watches they call shitters. It's just a kick around watch. But they joke around in that sense, and they're just really good guys. I've met some really, really nice people. JJ's hangout, all the guys that go on his panel, Ari, Sasquatch, Toyota Mo, Marco, they all know who I'm talking about. Mookie's great, Duco Ted, Archie, that's kind of that crew. Peruka is great. Basil's Bezels, just really good dudes, and they love to have fun and hang out. So it's cool. It's cool to see them over here tonight too, and hanging out with my true crime. And this potentially is a true crime. That's why we're covering it here on LTL podcast. And I just did, Mookie, did you see my parody video? I think you did. You might have saw my parody video that I just did of the Anthony's Watch University. All right, let's get back to the video. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. Kelly on her own time. She's great too. She's done interviews. Oh, by the way, if you didn't see, I just released some archives from 2022. If you want to watch some really great watch interviews, you can go on my homepage, look at LTL Podcast Archives 2022. I have an interview with JJ in there, Marco in there, Quicker Than Draw. He's great. I love him. I have an interview with him. Actually, Kelly on her own time. So if you want to watch any of the Timepiece stuff that I did with them, we check out the archives. I just released a whole bunch of the archives, some really good stuff when I was doing shows with Primo, the first edition of LTL. All right, let's get back to this video, and then we're going to get into the Blackout video.
Pink, being the reasonable guy that he is, accepted it and then left. Mr. Pink never heard from him again. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. As promised,
think he's a scammer,
here's
dude.
a copy of Mr. Pink's consignment agreement as evidence of the transaction. You can pause the video if you want to read the consignment agreement in detail. His personal information has been redacted for his privacy. But it does specifically say that Gentleman Timepieces is responsible for the watch, and title or ownership of the watch remains in the name of Mr. Pink until payment is made. I don't know about you guys. I know Anthony says he's trying to dig his way out of this $5 million hole he's created for himself, but I don't see any way he can do that. I mean, who in the world would continue to do business with him? You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Well, it's not going to happen again, or at least it shouldn't.
Oh,
by
awesome,
the way,
Carrie.
I've just heard that Wesley Stokes is a victim as well. So guys, let's give the guy a break. Allow me to break down how a confidence scam works. Number one, enter a smooth talking salesperson. Imagine you're at a fancy event and someone shows up with a shiny briefcase. He opens it up and shows you some of the most beautiful luxury watches you've ever seen. They say they're a luxury watch expert and show you their.
I gotta say, he's been calling them out for like 2 years, and he ended up being right with all the stuff, with all that stuff. It's great.
YouTube channel. Number two, the big offer. The smooth talking salesperson notices you're wearing a really nice watch yourself and tells you that he can sell it for you at a market premium. After all, he's got market connections and a huge network
Marketing
because of
genius.
his influencer status and huge social media presence. Number 3, trust is built. Sure, why not, you think to yourself? The individual showed you some very expensive watches, they seem very knowledgeable, they gave you a fancy business card, and everything seems to check out. So you decide to hand over your watch. Number 4, vanishing act. Weeks pass. Every time you call the number, there's no answer. One day, you decide to visit the address on the card, and it's an empty store. The smooth-talking salesperson vanished with your watch. The moral of the story with these con artist scams is that they all work fundamentally the same way. Temper your expectations and understand that you typically won't get full market value for your watch or for whatever else you're selling. Work with a trusted and established dealer. There are some very good ones out there, and understand that they need to take their cut for selling your watch. Greed can sometimes cloud our judgment, making it easier for someone to fall victim to a scam. I hope you found the video helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
All right. Good little video there. And what I'm going to do here in a minute is get to, for my audience to understand what the Blackout video was, which is, it's a piece of Timepiece gentleman history. It's good stuff. Let's do this. Oh, yeah, this is from, let's see, what else do we have here? This is actually from Bob describing the RM situation with Anthony at trying to steal his watch back from this dealership. So you guys can all see how he operates here, and you're going to get kind of a play-by-play. If you saw JJ's stream, the one that I was on couple nights ago, or about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now, Bob was on the show and actually was with Anthony in Arizona when Anthony was trying to get this RM watch back. Let's check this out.
Don, lock the door. Lock the door. Lock the door.
So to start this off, let's let you know who the players are. First of all, this is filmed at a high-end jewelry store in Scottsdale, Arizona. This is not a pawn shop. These people are extremely reputable. They have 700 to 800 reviews online. They're like 4.9 stars. This woman works there. This is Tyler. He's the sales guy that was helping me find the watch that I wanted. And this is Anthony.
The crime piece gentleman, scumbag, fucking thief, piece of shit.
I would agree with those words. And this is me.
Good.
At the time, I think I'm helping a legitimate watch dealer track down a stolen watch. But let's get into the story. So just to show you guys, I went into that store probably the first or second week in May, and I asked for a particular watch. They didn't have the watch in stock, and he said, Bob, we do get those in. When I get one in, I'll send you a text. On May 25th, this guy sends me a text saying, I have one of the watches that you were interested in. Do you want to come down and take a look? So he sends me a picture of the watch. I ask if that's for sale now. He tells me yes. He gives me a price, and we agree to meet the next morning at 9:30 in the morning for me to go down and take a look. I get that text from Tyler, and I immediately send this text over to Anthony from the Timepiece gentleman.
Crime piece gentleman, scumbag,
That's so good.
piece of shit.
That's so good.
And Anthony says papers, and then Anthony sends me this. And guys, this is where it fucking gets interesting. So Anthony, now pause this story back in May. Today is August 13th or whatever. He has robbed me and several other people of a combined $5 million and 44 watches. Granted, this is May when I think he's still legit. I send him that picture, and he sends me this. This is a post that he made on March 17th saying that this watch was stolen when he was drunk in Phoenix at a bar. He says there's a $100,000 reward. You guys asked if I got that. I did not. And so he was posting this, trying to find his stolen watch. So again, I think I'm finding a legitimate deal at the time, find a stolen watch. Now
Yeah, right, Mookie?
There's 3 scratches right here on this picture that Anthony sends me of it being missing. Here's the first picture that was sent to me by Tyler. 3 scratches. This is the exact same watch in my mind, right? Now, this is a very reputable store. They may have made a bad buying decision. You guys be the judge. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So after Anthony,
Drunken fucking con man, thief, piece of shit.
I love that.
Got a watch stolen at a fucking bar off his wrist. Professional.
That's great.
so after Anthony sees those pictures with the scratches being the same, he's so angry that he's hopping on a plane that night to come to Phoenix so he can go to the store
Dude,
the
I
next
love that
morning
Bob's just
and find
calling
his
it out.
watch.
It's
We
so
walk
good.
into the store the next day. I try the RM on. I hand it over to him. He's checking it out. It's kind
Watch
of
this
crazy.
thing.
By the way,
It's like-
remember this watch. That's a Patek Nautilus on a white rubber strap. Keep that in mind, and I'll go back to that in a minute.
Uh-oh.
But this guy loses a $225,000 watch and never files a police report.
He doesn't file the police report because the watch is stolen. It's not his fucking watch to file a police report. Like every other fucking watch he has. They're all stolen. He's a thief. He's a con man. He's a drunken fucking con man.
This is so good, dude. I love it.
In closing, this guy was
Yeah.
running a humongous Ponzi scheme.
It's so good, right?
Literally, like,
Right,
since
Sam?
I posted my videos about a week and a half ago, I've had tons of victims reach out.
Yeah.
Trying to put these pieces together, it's been like a psychological journey.
By the way, I'm going to put this out there again. Anybody that's watching the video here tonight, if you want to come on and tell your story, if you want to share your story, we want to expose this. We want to keep getting this out into the public so people are warned, so people know about this. We don't stand with scammers and deceptors here on LTL Podcast. We call them out. And if anybody wants to share their story, you can email me at letstalklivepodcast@gmail.com. We'll get you on the panel and you can tell us all about what happened to you. We'll get your story out there. We'll get the awareness out there. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are not talking. I understand that because they don't want their names out there. But if you want to get your information out there and put your name out there, LTL Podcast is here for you. All right, let's keep playing.
Jigsaw puzzle. It is absolutely insane what he has done to me and a bunch of the other victims. Here's 2 watches that I gave him to consign in early July. That's him wearing one at the beach, which is freaking ridiculous. And then I had a guy send me this picture of my watch for sale in a WhatsApp watch group. My exact same watch. You can see it's actually on Anthony's wrist.
Unreal.
And Anthony used these watches to pay back a debt to a guy in Florida who in turn sold my watches. So.
Wow. Wow. All right. Let's give some context to my viewers here tonight about the Blackout video. Okay. So essentially what happened was this article here, I'm going to read a little bit from it and it will basically explain to you what the Blackout video is. So Dallas-based Timepiece gentleman allegedly makes off with customers' cash. A website store and YouTube group called the Timepiece Gentleman has shut down after taking in $2,000 in cash from hundreds of collectors who were promised access to buy Rolex watches at wholesale prices. And this is, and just give you some context, this is back in June of 2021. So this has been almost 2 years. It has been 2 years. Okay. The group's Squarespace website is taken down, and according to Watch Collecting Lifestyle, the company's Dallas office is shut, and the gilt name of the front window has been scratched away. The group allegedly also has set of watch consignments by customers who wanted to sell through their service. After becoming a social media sensation with more than 40,000 followers on Instagram and over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, the Dallas-based gray market watch dealer seems to have vanished into thin air with millions of dollars of consignment inventory, as well as the hard-earned money from hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals that pitched $2,000 US in exchange for being able to buy watches at wholesale prices at a new Timepiece Gentleman store that was supposed to open after raising $2 million via Instagram. Only 1,000 lucky followers would be able to become partners of the empire the Timepiece Gentleman was building at their investors' dime. If that fucking piece, that small piece of paragraph right there, doesn't send up red flags, I don't know what to tell you. It just doesn't sound good already. I mean, red flags left and right, up and down. So here's the old office. You can see, they still had their furniture in there. All their watches are obviously pulled out of the cases because, all those watches would be in, excuse me, inside a vault. But you can see where they scratched out the name, and it just started to grow some concern. Anthony Farah, Marco Niccolini. Marco Niccolini, from my audience, was Anthony's partner when they were still the Timepiece Gentlemen, or Gentleman Timepieces, which became Timepiece Gentlemen. And Marco now has gone off and split from Anthony, and that's a whole nother subcategory of this story. But I want to stay focused tonight for my viewers. If you're enjoying this so far, give me a 1 there in the chat. Let me just know everybody's alive and they're enjoying this. All right, so it goes on to say the company's MO was apparently to pretend to have a lot of money in watches. Excuse me. In their YouTube videos, they spent thousands of dollars on shitty meat as Salt Bay, putting Rolex on blast, and generally trying to mimic the success of other well-known tube bros like the Paul brothers. Love those ones in the chat. Thank you. Anthony Farah, one of the founders, was a self-admitted felon who spent time in jail based on his entire business on one watch sale. His popular Instagram is now MIA. All of the sales sites, including a Chrono 24, which is a page for my viewers, my crime viewers, you can go there and actually purchase pre-owned watches. It's vetted. They have their vetting process. They have a way that you send the watch out to the client and the way that the money is collected. I believe they do kind of like an escrow service. So when the watches get there, it's accepted and then the money gets released. Very reputable. The plan, at least according to the screenshots of their Instagram page, suggests a cross between crowdfunding and product subscription. Their goal was to raise $2 million for a new store by selling $2,000 VIP memberships to a Facebook group that offers authentic services, appraisals, and watch deal pricing help. Basically, it was supposed to be flash sale and media arm for a watch store. You can see here, there was some screenshots. Wow, this article is great. It's archiving a lot of this stuff. So Marco Niccolini, Anthony's partner at the time, posted, all right, everyone, we're going to raise $2 million to put towards the building of our new store, and we want you to be involved. We're going to sell 1,000 spots at $2,000 each and become a VIP client in our organization. With this status, you will be invited into a private Facebook group that will only have access to wholesale inventory and flash sales from our own inventory. You will be able to be invited to our first 10 fan meetups catered by us and a design by, different geographical locations, so you don't have to travel far. Aside from this and several other perks, your name will be inscribed on a plaque and displayed in a new building as one of our original contributors. The Facebook group alone will be where we offer up inventory at true wholesale prices, offer authentic services, appraisal, watch deal pricing, help, and live Q&As not offered to the public, and many other small perks we will only offer to you. If you help us create our dream store, we are going to make sure you know our level of appreciation. The first time you buy a watch in a group, you will earn that money right back. If this is something you'd be interested in, drop in your email below and I will send you more details. I mean, for someone that didn't know and someone doesn't understand and they saw this, they go, oh God, this might be a great opportunity. But to me, when I read this stuff, I'm kind of like, red flags. Something seems pretty shady about it. So it goes on to say in the article, it's unclear how many people jumped into the chance to pay $2,000 to belong to a Facebook group, but apparently it was enough or not enough to convince the group to pull up stakes. The real goal, as evidenced by their hour-long videos, was to create some sort of original content about guys selling watches. Since the YouTube site is still up, it seems they succeed but it may not have just canceled themselves to reduce potential litigation for the $2,000 scam. Time will tell. In my opinion, it seems like an exit scam than a rug pull. The lads were in over their heads, weren't able to sell enough subscriptions, and probably close their shop to avoid paying rent. Because there's little crime here, taking money of crowdfunding opportunities is not illegal, and there's no associated equity sold for $2,000 memberships. It looks like the crew couldn't raise enough, were focused and close to their potential expensive shop. This is a fairly common crypto behavior in which a team retools and relaunches. So, what happened was this created a shit ton of buzz. I mean, there was a shit ton of buzz here, and people were talking about this, and they're going, where are these guys? Where did they run off? I mean, for Christ's sakes, I think going back and reading, I think there was an article in People about it, if I remember. But I mean, this was making like headline news. Where are these guys? Where did they go? Where did they take off? And then people started talking shit, of course, because what happens is this started making legitimate gray market dealers, the guys that sell watches secondhand, look like assholes. And they had to start coming out and start talking and saying like, hey, I hope this isn't what it is. We don't know where he is. You guys need to say something here, because that's going to hurt the gray market business and trust. A lot of this stuff is built on trust, because there's a lot of expensive merchandise that's involved and a lot of money that's involved. So after, I don't know, the blackout was like 2 weeks, I think, or a week, and it created all this buzz. I can't remember my back that far right now. I think it was a week or 2 weeks. And then the marketing genius comes out and drops this, what is now called the famous blackout video. And you'll get an understanding of the level of narcissism here from the two people that were involved, Anthony and his partner, Marco. And it was one of the most horrible decisions that they could have made. They had a ton of upward momentum. And this was the video that actually sunk them and just spun Anthony on this complete downhill spiral. This is where things started to get out of control, and we're gonna play through that video. So sit back if you haven't seen this already, and relax, and we will watch the famous Blackout Timepiece Gentleman video. I'll stop and do a little bit of commentary as we go.
How do you feel about the allegations of what's going on right now?
I think it's just all speculation with zero facts, and it's just social media doing what social media does.
And how did this idea develop?
This idea developed when Anthony and I took out a client for dinner, and we were just chit-chatting, and I thought of this idea, and I interrupted the conversation. I was like, what if we did something so crazy? What if we created this concept of blacking out our business for a cause? I thought Anthony was going to hate it, and he was just like, actually, that could work. So, Anthony really was instrumental in executing the idea.
Do you think Anthony takes his ideas too far sometimes?
Absolutely, yes. But that's his superpower.
So real quick, at this time, you have to keep in mind, Anthony's still on probation. He's wearing an ankle monitor and he's supposed to be free from drugs and alcohol. And I would say, in my estimation, that he was healthy and not using or whatever just probably right up until here. And I think this is the tipping point for him when he started going back down on a bad path with drugs and alcohol, and that started to get him in some trouble. But we'll keep playing through here.
Do you trust him?
Yes, 100%. Oh, cappuccino, right? Thank you.
And the charity, I believe, and this is what they use, this charity event, and if I remember, was charity or hours that Anthony was supposed to do as part of his restitution, if I got my story correct. So they used that to help film this video, and you're going to see that later. I just kind of blew a little bit of the plot, but you're going to see that later in this video. All right, let's keep playing. The level of narcissism in this video is unreal.
Oh no.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
That's shit.
Damn, it's good. Hello, Kira. I can
That is good. Yeah.
do some work.
And I need to get a juror like you. That's the next step.
Thank you. Court-ordered
quite
community service.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Anthony, how do you feel about
That's
the
the words I was
allegations
looking
made
for.
against you?
I'm not worried. I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people out there, though. I think people are sitting back right now. They're so glad that they're right. As long as people have been screaming scam.
He thought that this was going to elevate this company and this business to all new highs with this social media charge, with the headlines, and it fucking completely tanked them. I mean, they became the running joke. This is when all the jokes started. I think people were banging on them a little bit earlier, just for flops and flubs in their videos, but this is the one that completely sank them. It backfired 100%.
Ponzi scheme. People want to be right so bad. And I have a feeling that
we're
after this
talking
video
about
airs,
Ponzi
there's going to
scheme
be a lot
when
of
we're 2
silence.
years later.
Do you feel like you've lost
Yeah,
trust
it's
in the
crazy.
public side?
Not the public that matters. I feel like we've disrupted an industry and we've brought about some awareness. But
Yeah,
as you'll see later in this
Right, baby.
video, the clients that have actually been doing business with us are on our side. The guys that are invested in our company, that have merchandise with us, they're rooting for us. They see past all the chit chat. They see past all the name calling, the bringing up the past, the accusations, the people coming out of the woodwork of, oh, you know, he seems shady as fuck. I think there's going to be a realization of just how fast social.
real quick, and how things have not changed. How things have not changed. He's completely the same person 2 years ago that he is now. He's worse now. But the way that he talks and the way that he operates, this is the person that will always be. He will never change. He's always going to have some scam in his back pocket. It's funny, he's saying scams and Ponzi schemes and the social media haters and the way that people talk about us. Dude, you create your own drama, bro. You create your own drama.
Media can spread stuff, and how quickly people are to jump ship when things don't go exactly as planned. And then that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing people come out of the woodworks that have done business with us face to face for months on end, on years. And now all of a sudden, because of this blackout week, they're letting us know that, oh, we thought he was shady the whole time.
100%, Sam.
What did you do? Like what happened? Like,
we turned off all of our Instagram accounts. We shut down the website. We locked the front door to our store and turned off the lights. And I actually tried to peel off the sticker, the window display, because we ordered a new one that had different information, and it didn't really come off the right way. So I just rolled with it. I thought, that's gonna be kind of funny. We'll see what people go off of that. But that was actually a complete accident. So
what about like your clients and your consignees?
after the word started to spread, we began reaching out to them as well as them reaching out to us.
Do you think that, and from my watch buddies that are in the room, do you think that at this time, this is when the tension started to build with Anthony and Marco? If you guys think that, drop a 1 in the chat, because you guys followed this story. My true crime people that are in here tonight, they're just getting exposed to this for the first time. But my watch buddies that are in here, do you think this is when things started to go south with Marco and Anthony? I think so, because you can see Marco's face. Yeah, I mean, everybody's agreeing as well, too. All right, let's keep playing through.
Us. And here in a minute, we'll show you a video that'll kind of sum it up, I think.
So how did this idea develop, and what's your hopeful outcome?
What we hope the outcome is
the body
we hope it'll
language,
make
too.
people realize that, one, how fast things can spread simply based on speculation. 2, how much time and attention are people paying to
100%.
social media? Think of how much time people have spent watching these videos, watching all the YouTube videos, reading the comments, sharing these posts. How much time have people spent doing that based on this and what's happened? The average person that's caught up in all this speculation has spent 10 times more of their time focused on this than they have on what we've been doing. Watch this video. We'll come back and we want to see how the tone changes, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
I'm just going to kill the music here. Because I don't want to get a copyright. I'll bring it back up when he starts talking. But yeah, this is what they're trying to basically say. Oh, and this is what's, I'm going to give you some context to this. They're basically saying, well, while everybody was shitting on us and we blacked out our social media, we were out doing charity, which was court-ordered charity. So they used this to make themselves look good. And this was Anthony's court-ordered charity. So he said, well, I might as well just get the whole crew involved. We'll go over there. I have to do it. I'll have everybody come over and we'll make it look like we were out doing charity during this blackout. When they start talking, I'll bring the volume back up. There's music right now, and I don't want to get nailed for a copyright. So that's essentially what's going on here. So he's going to say it too. Well, you guys were all shitting on us. We were out doing charity. It's the biggest, fakest scam video ever. Yeah, there's more music here. And you're going to see it the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes. All right, let's see here.
Well, this is Sierra and Natalie. This is our communications team. They wanted to come out and meet you guys also. Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely, Sam.
Yeah, this is Lisa, our executive director. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. This is the crew from Gentlemen Timepieces.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Introduce some volunteer.
Natalie's like, who the fuck is this?
Ultimately, what we're doing, we're pulling a PR stunt on our business, and it is a tremendous risk.
PR stunt.
But we did it with a cause. Okay, we're giving back to charity. We're highlighting charities that we picked. We're taking the time off, an entire week of our time to just give back. So what that means for you is like we picked a Rolex watch to donate to each charity, and each one is color coded. So ladies,
which never happened. And my watch buddies know it never happens. It never happens. They never donated shit.
Guys got the peak watch. It's got a peak dial, and its value in the market is between $12,000 to $14,000.
$1,000.
Yes.
But based on the fact that we're giving to charity,
it could go much higher.
Could go higher.
So all those proceeds go directly to you guys to help the cause. And then moving forward,
that's really cool.
So moving forward, then we're going to be, because at the end of all of our videos, we do our numbers for the week so like, okay, we sold this much went to wholesale, this much went to retail, and this is our profit. Then we're adding the percentage going to charity. So, and then you guys will be one of our charity affiliate partners. So that's going to be the really cool thing. So it'll always be divvied out, and then we'll always come back and do our, give a helping hand. There's news articles floating around right now saying we ran off with millions of dollars.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
That's great. That's great PR for you guys.
So funny.
Yeah. Fake news away.
So it's obviously fake news, right? So
Yeah.
and it's like we didn't put that out there. It happened organically. All we did was just turned off our social media, turned off our website, and we didn't tell social media what we were doing. Everybody's been speculating. They're so sure we ran off with money. They're so sure we disappeared millions of dollars to Mexico. They're just like, what are these guys doing? And then now the smart guys are saying, these guys are up to something. We don't know what it is, but it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is what we're up to. We're out here helping charities and giving back.
This is such bullshit. This is so staged. This is so staged. All right, let's keep playing this now.
The best way to help us is to go on our website at www.magdalenhouse.org. And there's places where you can donate your time. We need services, we need goods. There's all kinds of ways to donate. And then obviously financially and just monies. But there's also a lot of other ways you can donate and get involved.
Awesome.
Let me just kill this music. There he is. There's Coach. I'm going to kill this music again. Listen, I'm all for people donating their time to charity. I think that's a great thing. We should do more of that in our communities. But when you go to a charity and say that we're coming to you today to give us give you our help for a PR stunt. That's such bullshit. You go there because you actually care and you actually want to help these foundations, not to set up a fucking set up a charity stunt.
And I didn't have any sponsors. I had nothing, but I knew that what was
Super
really
cringe.
important to me was that young people who grew up in group home shelters, detention centers, and orphanages could have a better life than what society had dictated to them. I mean, we've gone around the world literally speaking in orphanages and places that I never dreamed that I would be. I have Russia, I have Turkey, Costa Rica, Romania, Thailand, Brazil. I was on a plane to Costa Rica when I did my first trip to be able to visit Nicaraguan refugees who were crossing the border into liberty in Costa Rica. And I met a lawyer and I had an accountant sitting next to me in the plane. And I told them my dream of about wanting to be able to put something together that would impact the lives and give hope to destitute children
Oh, I
who were
feel bad, too.
displaced, who had lost their childhood with no circumstances
Seriously.
of their own. They end up going from house to house, sleeping on different couches, and don't have a
They
place.
opened up their hearts and their home to these people, and they basically got used. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, I would feel dirty after that. Like, what the fuck?
They don't have a forever home. And so, especially foster care children, we can give them so much if we take the time to care. And that's what Dare to Dream is doing.
That was beautifully said. And we're extremely happy to be part of this
fucking
and be able
cons.
to give back. I read half your book. I have one request.
We know how
I'd like
Coach
you to
reads
sign it
books.
for me.
Oh,
That way I can keep it.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's special. Like I read
Yes.
lots of
Do you
books,
have it
but
with you?
very, very rarely do I get the author to sign it. So that's something special.
Such bullshit, dude. And this poor lady probably worked her whole life on this book, and he's just shitting all over it.
Okay. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Coach. I'm gonna turn this music off. I want one of those hats, though, dude. I want one of those hats so bad. All right. This is where things going to start getting interesting.
All right. So what you guys saw was us giving back to our community and really just reminding ourselves that our lives aren't just about the glamour and about the watches. It's also about giving back to the community and remembering that, there's others out there less fortunate than us that, deserve our time as well. We have some big plans in store for these charities, Anthony.
So what we've done is we decided to purchase 5
All
different
a
color
lie.
dial Oyster Perpetuals.
It's never
the 21
happens.
millimeter references. We picked branded colors that would kind of tie into the charity. And what we're going to do is we are going to auction those off and donate 100% of the proceeds to those individual charities.
It never happened. This never happened. Lone Star 512 says $2 super chat says those hats are going to be like Firefest gear. Dude, tomorrow night I'm doing a show. Billy McFarland has been out of prison for about 9 months. Tomorrow night, he says that Firefest 2.0 is happening. I'll be talking about Firefest on tomorrow night's show. I'm really getting into these like scams and deceptions lately. I really uncovering this stuff. And Billy McFarland is back at it again. And I couldn't remember that when the judgment came down, he's not supposed to be any type of CEO for a company. So I have no idea how the hell he's doing this. I don't know how. He said tickets were already sold out for the festival. And it looks like he's back living the high life again. So we'll be uncovering that story tomorrow. And I'm really excited to be doing that because I just can't believe it. And if you haven't seen anything about the Fire Festival, go on Netflix. It has one of the best documentaries about Fire Festival. And you have to watch it. It'll get you caught up with the story. But tomorrow night, I'm going to do a refresher and some new interviews with Billy McFarland. It's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's keep playing through this. Coach is going to explain the charity.
We're going to have a link on our website where you can go on and bid. And, these watches range anywhere from 13,000 up. We're hoping that because it is going to a good cause, we can raise even more than market value. And then, like I said, we're going to donate 100% of that to these charities. And going forward, 5% of our profits are going to be donated at the end of every month, split between all these charities, as well as our time. We've let every one of them know that once a month, our entire team is at their disposal for any projects or anything that they need. So guys, we'll put a link in the description for all of the charities that we have mentioned. You'll be able to go on our website and see the watches, see the amounts that the bids are going for, and see what they finally sold for, as well as get pictures and info.
Yeah, but I think they only dropped off like 2 of them, bro. I think they only dropped off like 2 of them from what I remember. And I could be wrong on that. Yeah, the checks probably bounce
on these specific charities if you'd like to donate. And, the whole point of this blackout was to raise awareness for charities that had a little special place for us. We turned off our social media and we went and gave back to charity. It was such an awesome feeling to be able to do something for someone else and not be worried about what's going on Instagram or what's going on YouTube and how many texts I'm getting today. I had a great time doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It was it was very refreshing to get away from social media, and it was very interesting to watch just how crazy social media can get when you're not present. When you disappear on social media, it's like you physically die. Right. It's amazing how people react. Like they just it's like watching your own funeral.
What amazed me was how many people were so quick to jump ship. Like people
that's
that
a good point.
For months,
Lone
years,
Star.
all of a sudden come out of the woodwork with, I knew he was shady. That dude was always creepy. The comments like, once a felon, always a felon. Like,
dude, the fucking irony in this. Oh, I smacked my sign. The fucking irony in this is unbelievable.
Leopard never changes its spots. This just goes to show.
It goes to show how easily social media can be manipulated in a way that
for bad.
For bad, and we can use that bad for good.
Imagine if people spent a fifth of the time that they have over this past week sharing these articles, sharing these stories, getting engaged in the comments, watching the YouTube videos. Like if people just spent a fraction of that time giving back to a charity, what would the world really look like? If people were just as quick to share a story about a new charity coming up, or a raise, or the Salvation Army, or the food bank, any charity that's significant to you. If people were quick enough, or were as quick to share that as they were to share our speculative story, what could we really do in this world? Now, one thing that impressed me the most, none of that stuff impresses me, is how quickly people can gossip. What impressed me was the people that came to bat for us. We were watching videos as they were coming out. Paul Thorpe, that is an absolute true gentleman. You could feel the sincerity in his eyes, in his tone when he.
Dude, and it's like they did this to test the other people around them that are big, that are big in this watch YouTube space. So it's like they had to test them to see if their relationship was sincere. And that's really shitty too. That's a really shitty thing to do. That I'm going to hide behind a curtain and wait to see if you're going to talk shit about me or you're going to legitimize me. That's really shitty.
He obviously had to put out a video. His viewers were asking for something. He didn't know anything. And he had to put out a statement, and he wanted.
Hey, Doodle, good to see you here. Thank you for hanging out.
True. He couldn't give out facts.
He got so played, dude.
But
I feel bad.
He had this gut instinct that said, just be patient. Let's see how it plays out. And for that, I mean, Paul, you were a true gentleman. The next day we saw, it was later that day we saw.
Like when they're, and we're going to see it later in the video, when they're taking the call, they're watching the stream from Roman and Watch Eric. And I think Paul might've been on there, and they're talking, oh, we don't know where he is. And he's like, these are the guys right here. These are the guys right here that we're going to trust, and they're literally watching this unfold. And it's such bullshit, man. It's such bullshit.
Paul Roman and Adrian and Nico and Watch Eric get on and do a live chat. And we were watching
Nico.
it. And Roman texted me the night before, and I was reading it. And, you know, I wanted so badly to say something. I wanted all he wanted me to do was give him a hint that he's not going to regret whatever it was he was going to say. And
100%.
I almost double tapped that thing and just hit the thumbs up, but I held off because I wanted to see where everyone's heart was. Those 4 guys came out the next day and they showed us their heart. They stood by us. They stood by us as best they could. They couldn't back us up with their name.
The only reason they had to do that, you dickhead, was because you basically were fucking the whole gray market, and you know you were making everybody look bad. So they had to go in and stick up for you, and because it would legitimately bring a dark cloud over their businesses as well. You dickhead, you selfish fucking narcissist. And they had to do that for 2 fucking years until your ass finally came out and said, hey, I'm $5 million in debt, you know, and you fucking did it to yourself, buddy.
Because they also didn't know what was going on, but they showed just how strong our community is. The watch industry,
super bad business.
And we'll get to that in a second. The watch industry is a industry built on trust. We were able to disappear for 24 hours, allegedly with millions of dollars of
100%
money and
Johnny
inventory, and 4 of the biggest names with the biggest social media presence stood there and said, something's not right. Let's be patient. Let's wait. While everybody else was quick to share the story, fluff up the allegations, feed into the hype, these guys stood by us. And that right there proved a point bigger than we even thought. It proved just how tight this industry is and just how trusted some people can be. And guys, you know, I'm sorry that we couldn't tell you, but if we had told you, it would not have been the same effect. And you guys, y'all nailed it. Y'all killed it with your reactions. So send me those invoices for the time it took away. We'll get those paid. We'll give them to charity. Is our credibility going to be tarnished? I don't think so. Nowhere are you going to find a report of someone that did not get paid. You're not going to find a report of a consignee that lost their watch.
So Lone Star saying, I'm really excited to get into this channel. For whatever reason, when I deactivated and reactivated, you weren't on my subs. Interesting. Yeah, man, it's good to see you back. You know, I've touched base back with a lot of my old friends, and you know, I just need to step away from that world for a little while and kind of do my own thing. But you know, the thing is and I've explained this before too, as me stepping back and really wanting to turn this into, you know, a podcast style channel, you know, I always stayed in touch with JJ, you know, behind the scenes. I was always talking to him all along. Him and I would talk every couple months. I would check in to see how people were doing. And I always felt in my mind that this would all come back around full circle. This kind of timepiece gentleman thing. And ironically enough, just as the stars were aligning, when JJ and I were just starting to talk again, I think I went on one of their shows a couple of weeks ago, and it had been maybe a year since I was on JJ's panel. Just popped up, said hello, checked in, had some fun. Literally, I think the next day was the videos that started dropping from Anthony about the $5 million debt. And I said, this is a great opportunity to bring this to my crowd, because you know, essentially what I do here is true crime. You know, I fell into the true crime space. If anybody doesn't know my story, and my watch people that are in the chat tonight probably don't know, my best friend was murdered back in 1994. And I never really talked about it that much. But, you know, when I changed LTL, I wanted it to be more of a, you know, a podcast style channel that people could come on and share their stories, or be an advocate for true crime victims. And my best friend did not get justice in his case. Essentially what happened was they ended up catching the 2 individuals that did it. And the system was a lot different back then for juveniles. And they basically, one of the individuals took a plea deal, I think it was six years, and ended up walking in like 2. And then the other individual, when they were getting the case ready to go to court, the prosecution kept fumbling. And then it got thrown out on technicalities. So the other individual actually never went to court or do any type of time. So, you know, revisiting that in my past, and then kind of the buzz that was about the Idaho 4 case is what kind of turned this more into a true crime. But I wanted to get and start kind of bringing in some of this scam stuff too, and exposing it and letting people know about that, because my true crime people are very interested in stuff like that as well. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but again, you know, it was just really nice to reconnect. And I've been on some green room sessions with a lot of these guys and reconnecting with a lot of them. And, you know, they're very accepting group. They're a very accepting group. And, you know, when I left, you know, I always missed everybody and never said one bad word about anybody. You can go back and look at my archive of streams, and always thanked JJ, in the sense, you know, JJ, Marco, Ari, Sasquatch, all those guys, Captain, Peruka, you know, all those guys. They gave me my chops. You know, I learned YouTube from them. You know, they really gave me the opportunity to grow with them. And then when LTL kind of turned and I did the first rendition of it, I had my co-host Primo over here, and him and I stuck together about 8 months. And that kind of just fell apart. Both him and I got sick with COVID, and I was going to shut the channel down, and I decided to revamp it. And here we are. It all comes full circle. So sorry for my diatribe there. Just give everybody a little bit of backstory. You know, my crime people, my watch people, but we'll keep going forward here.
I think there's a lot of good that can come out of this. I think it's going to take a couple of weeks for people to really set in. But if people pay attention to the overall message, I think it's a good one.
I actually I did a live stream on it. If you're interested in hearing about his case, what I did was I saved all the newspapers through the whole process of the trial. And I actually scanned them all, and I did a presentation and did about an hour live stream explaining his case. So if you're interested in that, I'll drop the link in the chat. You can check it out afterwards if anybody's interested about hearing that story.
The last thing I want to add is, you know, so many people have been sitting back all week, throwing their hands up in praise, just
this guy's
so
such a
happy that they can finally say they were right. And they were right about what? That we were going to fail, that we were going to scam people, that we were going to do no good. How
Just the
sad
irony in all of this, huh?
People live their life to see someone fail. If you look at the comments of people, we've been saying this for years. You've been holding in your head. You've been letting us take up real estate in your head, waiting for the day you can say, we knew you're going to fail. That's sad. Like that's really sad. And you know, the thing that
irony
I was hearing other dealers talk about is, you know, Roman mentioned it, that dealers are calling him pissed off. Well, those are dealers that already hated us anyway. They've wanted to see us fail since day one. Look what happened when you just turn off social media. I think we challenge everyone out there, not necessarily to turn off social media, but I would challenge people to maybe not look at it for a day and not buy into some of the hype, and go donate some of your time.
Dude, the irony here is so funny.
Got time. Go donate some of your time, share your experience on social media, and then share that. Spend as much time sharing that as you did this story, and let's see what we can do. Hashtag TPG Blackout.
Hashtag irony.
Let's see how, yeah, I like that. So, cheers. I think it was a good week. Let's go work. All right, let's go work.
This guy's such a dick. All right,
everyone. So you've seen what we've been up to for a majority of our time during this blackout week, but there's a lot that went into this behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, I have to say though, that fucking song does kill though. I mean, you waited every week for that song to hit and that new episode to hit. I was so hooked on this because they were good. They were good videos, and my true crime crew is gonna get an idea of how slick these videos were. They were good. I mean, I gotta say they were good. I gotta just pause out this. Such a good little snippet clip.
He gave me 2 bagels. So.
Chicken cream cheese.
Yep.
Morning, guys.
Hectic.
Is in this video, is this where he gets locked out of his bank accounts?
My phone's been blowing up all day.
Does anybody remember?
Dude, you know what the funniest thing about this is? And this is what nobody on the outside sees. The only people freaking out are people that don't do business with us. I've been on the phone all morning with clients, and they're like,
I should claim the song.
Is this a PR stunt?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They're like, this is genius. And then Brandon was like, I should have invested with y'all. Holy shit. Jesus.
This is the one. This is when he gets locked out, right?
No way.
No way.
Oh, I remember that guy.
What?
What? This is Marco's idea. That's the other thing too. This was actually Marco's idea.
Oh, there's our.
I don't think it was. It was Anthony's idea.
I'm eating, dude. Thought about auctioning this off. Donate to charity. We're gonna have to see how the whole week plays
Donate
out.
to
But
charity.
we're writing. I want to write. Who wants to give it up?
I don't think we're trending on enough platforms yet.
I like that. We haven't done anything wrong, and we haven't lied to anybody. What do? We turned off our social media. We turned off the lights, and we locked the door. Yes, we tried to rip the things off because we ordered a
And
new
you
one
took
where it changed
a
the
lot of money
hours,
from
so I don't
people.
put my number
You
on
didn't
there.
pay them back.
All right, so I know we did this to get a purpose and a point across. That's already out there. It's
No,
The point has not been made.
no,
What's the point?
you know, obviously we're giving back. You know, so we're spending that time and showing that how wrapped up you can get in that stuff. And this just shows how powerful social media is.
Yeah.
Only within 24 hours. So I guess
As it stands right now,
exactly.
literally, this article that this idiot that has no facts, this unfactual article that came out within 6 hours of the real world coming to life and seeing all of our social media gone. Within 6 hours, one article has gone viral around the world and has basically ruined all of my credibility. I'm just a 2-time, soon to be 3-time ex-felon.
irony.
No one that's actually been harmed has there been one article out where someone's actually been harmed? Has anyone on a Facebook group or the post that actually is doing business with us gone on there and said, yeah, these guys f***ing over? No. There's a few fake ones where there's one guy that's like, they have my platinum Daytona. No, we don't. We don't have a platinum Daytona on consignment. So.
This Chris?
Hey, Chris, it's Anthony.
Hey, dude.
How are you?
Good. You calling me from the Caymans or some random hideout fortress?
It's
somewhere?
dude, I'm hiding so good you wouldn't believe it. This is actually the best hiding spot you can imagine. I'm at my apartment.
Hiding in plain sight.
I'm at my apartment.
Sweet. When are y'all gonna drop?
Tuesday is the plan, but we just turned around and we're on the CW33.
Sweet. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right?
Now, I wonder anytime anyone tries to get a hold of you or a member of your team,
we don't answer.
Then there's no way there's no communication from anybody, correct?
Correct. Unless it's a client that actually has money or inventory with us. We've talked to every single one of our clients, and every one of our actual clients are cool. They're like, is this a PR stunt? And they're like, it's genius.
Marketing genius.
I said investors. That's what I meant.
Right.
People that had inventory.
Right.
Yeah, y'all are great. I would say.
Ride it out. Would you say ride it out or end it early?
No. Listen, it is. It's Wednesday. You're talking about a week. As long as, that's what I was concerned about. You have actual customers, people that have inventory, people that have money finance, that they would somehow start getting a little hinky. They could cause some problems. But if it's just the general public, then I would say ride it out. There's a shelf life where all of a sudden either people figure it out or it's not, they're over it.
So we were thinking about they're not going to get over it. I can tell you that. So many people want to be right on this. So many people want to. We're thinking about setting a premiere. It doesn't say anything. It just says our video's posting on Tuesday, but it'll say that on Friday. So they'll set it as a premiere.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's really good. So you give them something. There's some communication a few days before it happens, but you let them run with it forever. Listen, you cannot buy publicity like this, especially whenever you know.
You can.
He's reveling in this.
You know that you're not on the wrong side of it.
You can. It's just really, really, really expensive. We don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, but and especially with it being that everybody.
Yeah, I know all these people were ripped off.
Read some of the comments.
We do. We
irony of all this.
and everything.
And that would also be good, like somehow on your on social media or on YouTube or something, just to have, you know, like little snippets of what all the haters are saying.
The haters.
That's what we're saying. We're
Always
actually sitting here
haters.
brainstorming how the video is going to go. And that's what I think we're going to start with, is all the negative publicity. And then we're going to go in and we're going to show our real message and what this was really all about. What's crazy is how fast it spiraled out of control in 24 hours.
Listen, if people thought about it, because I thought about it when I read the headline, I'm like, so he just took the stuff and I'm like, yeah, that's a possibility. People do that. But if we're talking 2 million, I mean, we're talking it's not insignificant, but this isn't money.
Right.
And I'm like, and Anthony's not a idiot. He knows that he knows the system well enough to know that a very public financial crime is not something you just get away with.
Right.
So, no, I think it's great. And also the other thing you can't pay for is a situation where people show their true colors, you know?
Yeah, so we're actually right now, that's funny you said that. We're just sitting here watching some of the YouTube videos, and some of the guys that I'm really, really close to, who, you know, some of the other YouTubers out there and the other dealers, I've not talked to them on purpose, knowing that everyone's going to put response videos out. I want to see what they say. And one of them, Paul Thorpe, that guy's, I'm gonna name my next kid Paul. He was spot on, gentleman.
So I always say this, you know, in my line of work, I see this. If one of your neighbors ever gets arrested, especially, you know, you're living in a neighborhood with a bunch of kids.
We knew he was doing it.
Anything bad, people always go, I knew there was something squirrely about him.
Right.
I knew it. Whatever.
Here's my question is, what do you say when we come back and you were wrong? Do people put out apology videos? Do they admit they were wrong?
No,
or do they keep screaming bigger scam?
Publicity stuff. That's what they're going to say.
Hey, cheap or not, it was actually really cheap. It didn't cost us anything. Well, it did. It cost us a week of business.
Well, and you're not begging, you're not asking for, I mean, you're telling your investors, you're not asking people to run with a storyline. They just did.
All right. Well,
I know,
I'm going to give Marco your number and everyone on my team your number, just in case.
Okay, no problem.
Cool.
Hey, and then on that Yachtmaster, if you still have it available, I might, you know, I will. That's what I've been looking at. I'm not sure if I should go with the stainless or something else, but
I'll tell you what I'll do. Here's what I'll do, dude. If you like the watch, I'll give it to you at my cost, and you wear it for a little while. If for some reason you decide it's not exactly the one you want, I'll buy it back for the same price. Okay, I think my cost is 16. So I'll look it up and I'll text you my exact cost. But whatever it is, I'll give it to you at that. And then if you decide it's not the exact one, I'll just buy it back.
It's like his dog died
and get you something new.
That works for me.
Make a deal.
That's a deal.
All right. Are you around today? You want to come get it?
Yeah, I am around today. I'll shoot you a message. And then
Peruka.
Okay, sounds good, dude.
All right. Super.
All right, take care, buddy. Bye.
Oh, thank God.
The investor.
Are you watching all this?
My guy, dude, it's crazy. You're creating a holster.
So you know, we are not stirring anything. All we've done is exactly what we told you we were going to do. We shut off our social media. We closed the store. We spent the last 3 days working with charities, and in the evening and the mornings and the evenings, we're here in my conference center working on the business. We're here today, going to be knocking out CRM stuff all day long. Tomorrow, we've got 2 different charities we're going to work at. Friday, we've got a charity we're going to work for. So we have not done any articles. We have not talked to anybody. We have not instigated anything. Everything you're seeing is natural flow.
Wow.
How do you feel about it as our investor? Do you
Twix
trust us?
commercial. Twix commercial.
In all honesty, I do think
It's Twix.
initially this will sting and consignment will be a bit low, but I think in the grand scheme of things, when people start to realize, you know, how glued to social media they are, how quick they are to jump to conclusions, I think ultimately it would be a positive thing.
So you know what's funny is none of our clients are pissed off. Marco and I have been talking to clients the last couple days, and you know what, dude? I'm going to show you my text messages when we see you next. I woke up this morning, I had like 7 or 8 text messages from some of our biggest clients. They're like, "Is this a PR stunt? If so, you're a genius." All of our actual
like
clients,
Will
people
Ferrell.
that bought the membership to the VIP group, people that have watches on consignment with us, people that are still buying and selling watches.
We have the meats.
They're cool. They're like, yeah, we figured it was something like that. Keep up the good work. We're good.
Damn. Well, I did just see Paul's video drop, and I saw Wolven's video drop, and all this other stuff. And man, this stuff caught fire a lot faster than I thought it would. Which, yeah, I mean, kudos to you, man. You and Marco Bose have such a big presence in this industry. I mean, it's crazy.
Dude, this all sounds like a big scam, bro, which it is, but it just, after going back and really watching this again and just reviewing it, it just looks like a big scam, bro.
You know what's crazy is talking about those videos. So guys like Paul and some of the other YouTubers out there, I'm not going to mention anyone's names yet because I'm waiting to see what their videos say. But we haven't reached out to them.
He does use the same shtick now.
They've all reached out to us. You know, what's going on? Tell us something. Eventually, we've got to address the public. We haven't done anything because I want to see what they say. I want to see what they come up with and where their heart and their mind's at. And Paul is that is a stand-up guy.
I agree.
And then once I see all their videos, I'm going to drop a hint that we're all still alive.
Try a run.
To them.
Look, my 4th of July is going to be very interesting. I was about to order some fireworks with your head on.
I was just about to go get a Twix.
All right. Well, we are going to. What's your plans tonight for dinner?
No plans for dinner.
Yeah.
You want to go somewhere, walk around Legacy West, or I don't know. We'll figure something out. Let's pick a spot. Let's go have dinner tonight.
Yeah. Just send me a text or something.
All right, we'll do.
All right, dude.
All right.
Is that the weed?
I think that we have enough.
All right, this is
on
important.
right now. We can get talking about this. I want to make something clear. What I'm going to say, I speak for myself.
Poor Roman.
This is solely my opinion. This isn't me telling you, oh, this is what's going on. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to make stuff up. This isn't done for ratings.
So essentially what's going on here, just for my audience, is this is Roman Sheriff. He owns a business called Luxury Bazaar. It is a very reputable gray market dealer. They secondhand watches, very legit business, been doing business for over 20 years. And he's going to get on a Zoom call, and this is live. I think they did this over YouTube from what I remember. I'm trying to go back through my brain in the archives, and he's going to have Nico Leonard on there that also owns a secondhand gray market business where they do secondhand dealing. Very legit as well. You're going to have Watch Eric that has a small business down in, I believe he's still in Miami, Florida, if I have that right. Another legit guy. And you're going to see, I believe from what I remember, Roman's partner on the phone as well. And they're going to talk about Anthony. And this is live. And essentially, Anthony and his crew are watching this unfold live. And you're going to see the in full-on narcissism that will come out. If you haven't seen it already, it just gets even worse now that he had to legitimately test these individuals to find out if they were legit or not, if these are the guys that they were going to run with. So you'll get a little bit of a background. All right, let's keep playing through here.
Just to get information out there. I'm going to state the facts that I know, not based on the articles you guys may have read from
XCRM.
at Watch Collective Lifestyle, not based on a lot of the rumors that are going on within the dealer community. Number one, a lot of the phone calls were coming from dealers. A lot of dealers that were hating on Anthony and Marco prior, and are hating on them even more right now because what had taken place obviously allows them to hate even further. It's no secret that some of the stuff that Anthony's done in a couple of years, especially in the YouTube space, specifically in the watch world, has been very avant-garde, very outside the box, and very
Sucks Roman had to do this.
You guys have seen a video of mine where Anthony purchased a watch that was over $100,000 in MBNF at a trade show, on which I gave him 30-day terms. Monday morning at 9 a.m., I had a wire in my account. This is the day that Anthony disappeared. I had a wire in my account for over $100,000 that was due that day. If you ask me, if somebody plans on running and packing up shop and leaving, why would you send out a wire over 100,000?
I think essentially what he was doing here was these particular individuals, especially Roman, are on a high level, a super high level, a very respected level. They've been doing business the right way for a very long time. And fucking Anthony, and I think this comment makes a great, Angela makes a great point. She says, man, Anthony thought he was God or something. He wanted to fucking get on a level over them, be fucking up here and be like, I'm the man. That's his fucking ego. And it's terrible that these guys had to come out and do this and fucking cover. And they covered for this fucking asshole for a long time, because if they didn't, it was going to put a big, huge negative stain on the businesses that they do, the gray market. It was going to put a huge stain on them. And, I'm glad that finally now a lot of these guys have come out and fucking talked out against what he's done. But it's terrible. It's terrible. He fucking wanted to be way above these guys, be completely untouchable, and be on this fucking super level that he was going to control everything. And this guy's a dick. I think he's a complete dick of what he did here.
On the day that you disagree. Now, for somebody that plans on running in this business, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've seen guys run up schemes and run away. You don't shut down Instagram accounts. There's no point to that. You don't make every single one of your employees unavailable, because it's not like you're going to pick up yourself, the watches, and 7 kids that work for you and run away with them. None of them are available. Their Instagram accounts are shut down. Their phone numbers are up, but they won't take calls. This is an Anthony stunt. Call it a public stunt, call it a marketing stunt, call it whatever you want. But this is Anthony doing, again, something avant-garde, out of the box, making everybody worried. But
these guys are pissed. You can see it.
And the last thing that doesn't add up, and again, this is all facts, out of every single dealer that I spoke with, and I spoke to a gazillion dealers over the last 2 days,
not a
single one of them said, hey, he fucking
Adrian's
owes me money.
face.
Not a single private client that I spoke with told me, hey, he owes me money. So what that means is something doesn't add up, and it leads me to believe that this is going to be something that Anthony has just pulled. And I personally can't wait to find out what it is.
Anthony did a hublot. Anthony did a hublot.
So what I'm telling you guys now, look, as far as my opinion as to what he's pulling, I can't give you an opinion of what he's pulled, because we don't know what he pulled yet. And I tell you this from the bottom of my heart, we have zero idea what's going on. But all I'm going to tell you guys is that I'm going to stand by what I said on Monday on my Facebook group, and I'm going to double up on Anthony and say, look, this is something big that he is pulling off. And at the same token, tell everybody not to panic.
This is not damage control. This is just more or less our opinions. But I think it's very...
Just address this super chat real quick. APRTV 499 says, isn't this the first time someone calls him marketing genius? I think Roman says it coming up. Thank you so much for the 499 super duper chat. It's been a while since I remember. I can't remember, but you might be right.
Great cash, homie.
Thank you so much. All right, let's keep playing through.
Very important for our viewers and our clients to know that, in a sense, this is a little bit of damage control, because we're all friends. We're all basically guilty by affiliation.
They said it right there,
it's
damage
important
control.
to know that none of us have anything to do with the stunt that they pulled. I truly believe that this is some type of marketing, whatever you want to call it, and I'm excited to see what the light is at the end of the tunnel.
Look, I don't even really know what it is. If it's a rebranding tactic, that's the route that they chose to take. We do root for them. I'm hoping that it is some type of a rebranding, even though it's a very
100%
awkward one, in my personal opinion. But
awkward understatement.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, look, I've been doing this for 10 years. I put my life into this and my whole reputation behind it.
And this is the thing that people have to understand. My true crime community has to understand, the people that are watching tonight. And I appreciate you all being here, because I know this is a little off subject for you all. In a sense, this is a crime. This potentially could be a big crime. And I want to just show you and give you a background of what these guys and what this watch community has had to deal with for about 2 years now. maybe a little bit longer. And the thing they have to understand is in this particular business, like I said, a lot of these pieces are very special, meaning the watches. A lot of these pieces are very expensive. A lot of these pieces that they get are very exclusive, and only exclusive type of people can get these pieces. To walk into a Rolex AD, you're not going to walk in there and say, I want to buy a Rolex today. They're going to laugh at you. You have to build and cultivate that relationship. Unfortunately, it's just the way it works. You walk into an AP dealer, you're not going to say, hey, I want to buy an AP today. They're going to laugh at you. So this is an industry that is built on trust. It is an industry that is built on reputation. It is a business that there's a lot of money involved and very expensive merchandise that's involved. And this fucks over the lives of people that want to do this the right way. This is not the right approach. It's not a game to these people. This is the way that they make a living, a way that they can pay for their families to eat, a way that they can make a living to survive for the rest of their lives. And when you have someone comes in and acts like a dick and fucks it up for everybody, it puts a huge negative stain on everything. A huge negative stain on everything.
The last thing that I would ever want to give is, even as a joke, an impression that I'm not here tomorrow morning.
Have a good night.
To be here to answer anybody's
Thank you so
questions.
much.
So since we don't really know what's going on, because it could be anything, we don't know yet. I just want to sit back and really hope for the best, because, you know, I want it to be something good and definitely not something negative. I don't feel that he's a runner in any way, shape, or form.
These are our guys. So now this video shows that these guys are behind us.
People saying in the comments that we backed them, get the we're absolutely not backing anyone. If he stole a penny of anyone, I will start a manhunt, and I will kill him myself. It's like, you see what I mean? This is bonkers. But
see the stress that it's just even putting on these guys, you know, because this can ruin their livelihood. And they took hits after this.
It's not likely. It's definitely not likely. And that's all I have to say. Because
I mean, is this the part where I put on a thick Russian accent so Anthony would come?
Yes. No. Like, I mean, this pisses me off. We're trying to make the watch world and like. What? No way. What?
Cold.
Can you read that?
What?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously he's around. I don't know what's
Is he calling?
I think he butt dialed me by accident. I think that was his way letting me know that he's watching. First of all, we all made it pretty clear that we're all friends, that we all do business with each other. And I'm not the guy that's going to all of a sudden jump off ship and say I have nothing to do with him. I've done business with Anthony since we got together the last 4 or 5 months to the tune of $1 million. And the business has gone well. Right?
Roman, did Anthony just call you? What's the story?
Yeah, he just called me. I had a missed call. I called back. He didn't pick up. I think that was his way of letting me know that he's around. I feel like.
Yeah, no, fair play, and I kind of want to know what the fuck is going on. To be honest,
right?
I kind of want to know what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna call him.
Think about the power of the internet. Like think about, you know, how powerful the internet. Look at the craze that happened in the last 24 hours within the watch community, instantaneously.
All the comments are like boycott TTG.
Okay. Yeah. As of right now, they probably will.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen our message yet.
It's like
it's easy to say that till you know what the message is.
It's like this. It's like, imagine we're dating the social media, right? It's like our social media is our girlfriend. We pissed her off big time. What happens when we come with a big bouquet of roses with a strong message? Yes, we disrupted an industry.
We disrupted an industry, but guys, like some people said,
but this all
guys that are this big are not just taking off. You're worried about consignment. You need to be worried about consignment with people that don't
disrupted the industry. They're happy about that. Fucking dicks. Oh, this is the bank accounts, right?
What's your accounts? Yeah, they're all frozen.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sure y'all seen what's going on.
Yeah, so honey, she'll be running.
Look at him panicking. He's panicking. I never noticed that before. He was fucking panicking. Let's go back. Let's listen to that again. Coach panicking.
Is there anybody we can talk to about my accounts?
What's your accounts?
Yeah, they're all frozen.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all seen what's going on.
Yeah, so honey, she'll be
Hear him?
All right. I sent her an email last night too.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Chris?
I have not. He might have been trying to call me, but I'm not answering numbers I don't know because my phone hasn't stopped ringing.
Gotcha.
So can we get on a call with him? Yeah.
That's all I've been waiting on. Is to
Right.
hear back from him to know
Okay.
what to do.
Okay.
He is
And I sent you an
panicking.
email last night. Did you get that?
Yeah, I responded
Okay.
to you this morning.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
I've been blown up all day. I can't remember if I put it in there, but if y'all do, like I understand your normal protocol, something like that comes out, you have to act. But look at my transaction history. Is there anything crazy? No, I'm still steady paying people. And that's why I need my accounts unfrozen because I've got a $400,000 wire coming in from my investor who y'all can call and confirm it that I need to pay more people.
It's really going to unfortunately be all on Chris because he's
Okay.
the officer on your account, so he's the only one that can kind of make decisions
Sure.
on what we need to do.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, man.
Did you talk to Brandon earlier?
I did. I got a little bit of the story.
Okay.
Can you fill me in on all of it?
Yes. Okay. So it spiraled way faster than we expected. But basically, dude, we're raising awareness. The end goal of this is to raise awareness for charity and take
Guy's a dick.
the social media distractions out of it. That's the end message. Now, what happened was last night or Monday night at midnight, we deactivated all of our social media. We locked our door at the office, turned the lights off. All the inventory is still sitting in our safe. Actually, today it's at my house getting photographed
Thank
for
you,
our
Kurt.
new website. We were going dark for a week. All of our clients that we owe money have been paid. As you can see in my account transaction history,
Oops.
we've been
I mean,
steadily sending out
really
payments.
far.
We have reached out to all of our consignees. All of our clients are cool. Like they're like, hey, should we be worried? No, you shouldn't. Trust us. They're like, okay, cool. Everyone's been paid. There's not a single person out there. If you read any of the chatter anywhere, not one person that's actually legitimate is saying these guys have screwed me over. It's these guys are scammers. These guys are Ponzi scheme, blah, blah, blah. It's all just a bunch
Irony
of
in all of this is
chatter, which is
fucking
what we
hilarious.
knew would create.
Chatter.
And it's being talked about across the world. So the other thing is, for y'all's peace of mind, I put my entire life on YouTube, everything. If people don't think that I'm not smart enough to realize my plan was to take off with everyone's stuff, one, why would I still be paying my bills? Two, why would there not be slow withdrawals? Something suspect showing that I'm pulling money out. And three, why would I have made it such a drastic,
Should be a good one.
blatant thing? Like if I were going to run off with I would keep all the accounts
all the
running
people
as
calling him,
normal,
"Where's
and
my
I would disappear, not my
money?"
entire team. I would not make it so f***ing obvious. Dude, this article came out 6 hours after we deactivated stuff. Zero facts behind it. And if you read the article, it says after our own investigation. What was their investigation? They went to my office and my door was locked and my light was turned off and I didn't answer my cell phone. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I could have been in the hospital. Something bad could have happened. And this guy has proven our point that someone's entire world can be turned upside down because of social media.
Hey, Matt.
And look at how much time people have spent. I'll be willing to bet people have spent
He's
more
just
time
like-
in the
yeah,
last
he's like-
40
he's like
hours
Billy McFarland.
watching
Him and Billy
this
McFarland
than they
show
have
the
in
business together.
6 months giving their time to charity. I completely understand what y'all had to do. Take your time, do your own due diligence, and look at my accounts. I'll send you my Chase accounts. I'll send you my IFS shipping history showing you that these watches, these transactions are legit. Call Roman Sharf. Roman Sharf is a big YouTuber in this space, and he just did a video. And on his live video, he said, it doesn't make sense. He went dark on Tuesday morning, wire for $1,000 for a watch he owed me for.
I'm good with it. I talked. Let me know what you need me to do to help you out. Just keep me in the loop.
All we need
Roman
now
Sharf,
is I just
there
need my
it is.
accounts open back up. I've got a $400,000 wire coming in from my investor who's very aware of
Roman
what we're
Sharf.
doing.
Yeah. APR TV says, wow, first appearance of the phrase Ponzi scheme for TPG. Thank you so much for the $4.99. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. The Ponzi scheme. Call Roman Sharf. All right, let's play through.
And I can give you his personal.
I'll do another
information
15, and then we'll
and all
wrap
that.
this
You
one
can
up.
reach out to him,
Thanks
verify
for the
that he knows
$4.99. I
what's going
appreciate
on, who he is, and who we are to him. But I just need that money to come in so I can pay some more people.
I'm driving right now. When I get stopped, I'll send an email and say, hey, I talked to you. Let's open his accounts back up. Obviously, if he's in the bank, he's not doing what you're saying. Obviously, it's bullshit. So
My whole team is at my apartment. I'm hiding in the worst place ever. All right, thank y'all. Thank you.
Come on, man.
See you. We'll see you in a couple days. What's up, man? Oh, you know, another day in paradise. I mean, once you stop reading comments and listening to all the chatter, it's not that bad.
He thinks he's like this
we're
big
focused
fucking
on
social
training.
media star.
We're doing charity stuff again later tonight. We got
He's such a
charity all day
dick.
tomorrow.
He's like, I got court
I'm trying to
tomorrow.
lock one more in on Saturday. So
One more charity event.
yeah, something where we can do like.
Well, I can tell you, we're in intense hiding right here. So
I know, right?
What's going on? Are you guys live right now?
Yeah. Hi.
What's up?
How are you?
How are you?
We're hiding.
But what's going on? My phone's been blown up.
So is mine.
They totally hooked
Well,
up
what's
before.
going on? And I called these guys.
You called everybody.
So what's up?
Everyone was told not to answer. You'll see.
I'll see.
Dude, he is short, huh?
Controlled chaos.
He is really short.
I'm thinking.
I mean, I know the rumors that he's short, but he is short because that girl's like 5'4". That girl is like 5'4". Because look where her head is compared to look where her head is. Her head is here, and this is fucking elevator signs right here. He's only like a foot over that. He's like 5'6", dude. He's not 5'9". Because I'm 6 foot, and I would tower over that guy. Because look, holy shit. She's right here. Look, her head is right there. He's like a foot over that. He's like 5'6".
Marketing.
She's
No.
Smart.
He's almost eye
Like,
level with
these
her.
people calling me and stuff. I'm like,
I mean, if you think about it, in 24
Yeah,
hours,
her
we have the
whole
whole
body
world
language was
talking
like, get
about
away
us.
from me.
you could at least just like shoot it a text and like I'm good. I'm okay.
Cannot. You can't.
They
It kills the
totally hooked
effect.
up before.
to
though.
everybody.
Kills the
You can
effect.
tell.
If I just told half the people, then it wouldn't be that big a deal. Then only half the world would be talking.
He totally hooked up with her before, though.
See ya. This is Chris, our attorney. Oh, this is Marco, my business partner. He's normally in like t-shirt and jeans when he's hanging at Moxie's or something.
Yeah, this one's like my Explorer too, as far as you can adjust. A little bit smaller.
I'm gonna go do that.
This just has the easy link, so
I'm
it's
gonna
just a
go do
1
that.
millimeter extension. So see where it fits on your wrist, and we'll adjust it to where
I'm gonna do that.
Is this
you've
bigger
got a
or
little
smaller
bit
right now? Yeah, it's a little bit
big.
big right now.
Is it? I got a tool.
Yeah,
By the way, the lawyer meter is running on all this good advice I'm giving you all, so the price just keeps on.
We already applied it to the discount.
Oh,
About another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap this
It's a
up.
one-time
good.
discount.
I'm
Yes.
giving you discounted legal advice.
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
What's your Instagram handle?
My business one is Lewis Defense.
Lewis Defense. We'll
The
tag it.
personal one is Chris Lewis 214. That's the one that's more interesting.
Congratulations. So
All right.
we'll tag that on here. That's the one that's more interesting. Hey, do we have any extra boxes here, Trent? Can we pull a Rolex box?
88%.
Here's that box
said
papers.
they love
Everything's
this
in there. So
episode.
you wanted to pay
Only
for it
11%
through
said
Venmo?
they hated it.
No, I can do it. How
51
do y'all
votes. Thank you
You want
so
to send me
much
a bank
for
wire?
being
I'll just
here.
text you. I'll have Mike generate an invoice.
Okay.
Send you an
Can we do
invoice.
that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You want it that way, or you want it? I mean, I've got it.
I prefer. I'd prefer if you want to get money out of Venmo, we can do that. But a bank
No, I
wire
don't
is
need
fine.
to.
Let's just do a bank wire.
Okay.
I'll have him send you an invoice. That way we can keep it tracked.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right.
Hi, this is Steven.
Hey, Steven, it's Anthony Fair.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on?
Consignee.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Jimmy texted me. He forwarded me your text, so I wanted to reach out to you.
Actually, we got about another 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that because I
real sure what's going on. And I mean, I know I've had a couple conversations, but yeah, just it's got me pretty nervous. It's three expensive watches up there. Just had no idea what was going on.
Of course. So a little bit about it is it's controlled chaos. We initially planned the blackout from social media, so we could actually go back
thanks, Sam. I
work
appreciate it.
Work on some charities and then do a little bit of work within our own company, the organization.
This Instagram is Dr. Bob coming through.
And,
one of my moderators.
We wanted to
His Instagram now is I don't know anything.
Come back,
It's great.
A well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
So I will say that all of your watches are safe. If you'd like us to send them back, I have absolutely no problem with that. I can send them back today. But if you can bear with us until Tuesday, our new video will come out, and I think the message will be a pretty good one. Basically, if you've watched our YouTube videos over the last month and a half, people have been very opinionated on how we should run our business and how we've lost control and how
the irony in all of it is so funny.
Going after Mike, everybody's going after you doing your t-shirts.
Yeah. Well, it's just those comments aside, it's just that they have a feeling, or it seems that I can't run this company, that Marco and I don't even know our roles, that the business is completely unorganized. And the biggest thing that prompted this is the amount of people out there screaming scammers. It's sad. There's so many people out there that want to be right.
Irony.
And the fact that they think we're scammers. We just decided, you know what? It's a headache. Let's give people something. If people want something to talk about so bad, let's give them something to talk about. And
so I absolutely understand and align to some of this. The only challenge I have, Anthony, is that the folks that did have watches on consignment were notified.
So
that's the only misstep I saw.
Yes, I understand. And hear me out when we do this. We did that with intention. We didn't notify anybody right off the bat because we didn't want
cat out of the bag. Yeah.
Right. When you go for something of this magnitude and this effect, and I will say that article that Watch Collecting Lifestyle came out with that quickly, that was not planned. We had nothing to do with that. Any of the articles we've had nothing to do.
Yeah, I haven't read that. Okay.
We've had nothing to do with that. Now, we knew that would happen. We just didn't think it would happen so fast. We thought it would take about at least 2 days for something crazy like that to happen. What I thought was, 2 days
back in Dallas
would happen, and somebody would put out a video, and then that would spark a whole slew of other videos. I did not expect it to happen that fast, but that's great. Within 24 hours, the whole world is talking about us, and that's just simply that's publicity you cannot buy.
Yeah.
I wish I could show some of this stuff.
But what's funny though is, just like you're talking to me normal here, you're not freaking out. Every single one of our clients that actually have watches on consignment with us are cool. We've been getting text messages the last couple of days and phone calls, and they're like, "Hey guys, a lot of chatter going on around about y'all. Should I be worried?" And we just say, no. Stay tuned.
Yeah, no, I get, like I said, I get it, and I'm like I said, the challenge I have is just not knowing. I get the line you have to walk with that, because you got a strategy you're trying to deploy here. You don't want to mess it up,
of course.
But then I'm curious, and I mean, there's no way to know. But do you think this is going to impact, the trust that buyers will have? So not just
great.
Folks that are selling watches to you or consignment, and we're having these discussions, and we.
Danny says he looks like he's in a stock photo. A business desk office watch. That's great. Moogie says, we did that with intention. Oh, excuse me. We did that with intention. This is the same thing he says about the gambling in Vegas. All right. What are we doing here?
Feel comfortable.
All right, we'll wrap this up in about 10 minutes, 2 hours. Thanks for hanging out this evening.
I think if the message
that was good.
we want
I haven't laughed that hard in a while.
Appropriately, I don't think that'll be a problem. And the reason I think that is because, think about this: people that can't trust us, we came back. We didn't leave. What did we ultimately do? We shut down our social media. We closed the store. We didn't answer our phones. Could be pretty similar to someone that's
really
going on vacation for a week. I don't think it'll be a problem because the guys that are actually doing business with us are standing by supporting us. You even saw, if you watched Roman's video got put down, Paul Thorpe put a video out, and then
I saw his, and then last night Archie and folks were on a live stream that went berserk because they got all hammered. But
oh fuck,
Gee, what's
but
up?
look, those guys. Look, so here's the difference. Here's where I think this is.
Just to give everybody a little bit of just a little rundown before we end the stream tonight. So OG says, hey, brand new here, found out about you through the JJ Watch Hangout and found JJ through the AF Anthony Farrah $5 million situation. Thank you so much, man. You know, what we do here is LTL Podcast is basically a true crime podcast. We do true crime. We expose scams and scammers and deceptions and stuff like that as well. We have standalone interviews as well too. So, you know, I'm into the watch world. I'm into watches. I love them, but we're not a watch YouTube channel. But we love to get on and expose scams and scammers and talk about that on this particular channels too. So I have my true crime friends hanging out this evening. I have my watch buddies in here, and we've been having, you know, a little bit of fun tonight. A little bit more of a lighthearted stream where we can poke some fun and just expose, you know, this scammer for who he is. But thanks for hanging out, man.
Guys like Paul Thorpe, Roman Sharf, Watch Eric, and Nico and Adrian all got on there, and what did they say? They're like, it doesn't add up, it doesn't make sense, and they don't think it's true. They're gonna say they're not backing us up, and they're not
wait until
right. They are gonna wait it out and see what happens because
hey, my platform's open to them.
That this is not something we would
My
do.
platform is open to him.
You just quelled my
He owes me that
concern.
interview.
Yeah, so I'll make a note on that.
Hey, Holly, how
Which
are you?
watches do you have with us?
Ceramic sub, a Zenith, Daytona, and then a GMT.
Thanks for checking in.
Coke vessel GMT.
So,
But
yeah,
hey,
ceramic
she's
40
got all the details.
Yeah, I'm looking at them too, just so I like to know everything that's going on. So I see ceramic sub, the GMT.
About another 5 minutes, and we're gonna wrap this one up. Appreciate everybody hanging out. 2-hour stream tonight. We're banging it out on a Saturday night. Yeah, it's such a great one, man.
Coke bezel, GMT, and then that's
Okay. Well, I'll make a note of these.
Isn't that a great
Once
one?
these sell, we will not take a consignment fee on these just to ease any worries for taking a week and a half off that we couldn't sell.
No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the call.
Yeah, I did go after him.
And, you know, I've got more pieces that
Appreciate you, Sam.
That when I get ready to sell, I'll give you guys a shout too. So
Certainly, man. I appreciate you taking my call. So
thanks,
right.
Anthony. Appreciate it, man.
All right, talk soon.
All right, bye.
This is Tyler.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What's going on?
I need a favor.
Okay.
Do you remember that guy? You remember me telling you about this guy on YouTube that makes these videos, and he just like randomly out of nowhere started making these videos bashing us?
Watch
Like,
Nicholas.
he hates me.
Yeah. There's a couple people.
This is you're talking about Watch Nicholas.
It comes with the territory, huh?
Yeah. So within like a day and a half or 2 days of this blackout that we're doing, he's already put out.
Let's cheer out for Watch Nicholas.
He's like made a video for everyone on my team. It seems like. So obviously this guy really wants to talk about us. So I want to give him something to talk about. Tonight, I think I'm gonna make a public appearance and I'm gonna go have dinner
Watch
at Nick and
Nicholas.
Sam's by myself.
Good for him.
Okay.
And I'm going to have one of my waitresses take a picture on my phone. I'm going to forward you that picture. I need you to send that picture to Yasmin and tell her to leak it to this guy, like TPG sighting or something. Just write whatever. But I'd be willing to put everything that if she does that, if she gets that photo to him, he will make a video about it. And then when he makes a video about it, I don't know what he'll say, but my guess is I bet he changes his tune somehow, but still tries to play it like I'm an idiot. So if and when that happens, I want you filed my trademarks, right? The new one for the Timepiece gentleman, like in the entertainment.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on the logo, but yes.
Okay.
Jay, that's great. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for
people have already
Check
gone
in.
to like town on Reddit, like digging up everything about our past as much as we can. So pretend like you're one of those people and you're trying to find
Yep.
something and you found that.
Time
Send me the
Tight
link
Pants
to
Toonie.
it, or I guess the filings for the trademarks itself.
Okay.
If and when this guy posts that video talking more shit about me, I'm just gonna text him something.
Dude,
like,
wouldn't it be
"I'm
great if
smarter
Anthony
than
was
you,"
watching the stream
and I'm gonna
tonight?
send him a copy of those.
Anthony, if you're watching,
And I'm
get in
sure
touch
he'll
with
put out
me.
another video for that too.
I'll have you on the panel.
Oh, I'm sure there will be a video for that. I will be watching and waiting. Yeah,
All right.
let's do it.
All right. Thank you,
Come
Tyler.
in and tell your side of the
Got it.
story.
All right. Bye.
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Well,
All right, guys.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. We know you're going to let us know in the comments. Please don't hold back. Let us know exactly how you feel, what you thought. I don't have a lot of announcements in this. We're going to save those for an exclusive interview that I'll mention at the end. But what I do want to talk about is these 5 watches right here. These are the 5 Oyster Perpetuals that our team has decided to
That
donate
red
to
dial
charity.
is so sweet.
These first 4 right here are going to be dedicated to specific charities that we actually were able to participate in.
It'd
this
be
week.
great if he was like,
The
drop the
last
link.
one, and probably the one that's the most special to us.
Hey, I dropped the link
The
to him.
branding matches the organization. Now, unfortunately, because of COVID and because of travel restraints right now, we were unable to physically be there and work in this charity. But the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is a huge topic right now. It's a huge organization doing a lot of good, and we felt that this was the best and most appropriate watch to donate to that. So you're going to be able to go on our website, guys. There's going to be a page dedicated to just this. There's going to have information about
No,
all
I'm
of the
sure they were
charities, as well as
I'm
a
sure they were
running tally for the
consigned
auction.
pieces that
We're going to
weren't
run this
paid
auction
for.
for 1 week, and in 1 week, once
The
that
red
closes
dial
out,
is sweet,
100% of the
too.
proceeds of all 5 of these watches will be donated to each organization. Going forward, we're going to donate
all the
5%
dials
of
are
all
really
of our
nice.
profits starting in July. At the end of every month, we're going to tally those up, and each one of these charities are going to get an equal split. You'll also be able to see
This
a running
never
count
happened.
every month on our website. So help us, guys. Help us promote this word. Help us get this out there. Help this auction raise as much as we possibly can so we can help those less
we can
fortunate.
pocket the money.
The only other thing I really want to say is thank you to our clients, our friends, and our fans that stayed loyal throughout all this. There was a lot of speculation.
It's again,
and
we're
we've seen a lot.
doing this thing with like loyalty. Like you have to prove to me that you're loyal to us. That is such a fucking terrible business model. This guy's a dick.
A lot of people express their opinions, but you guys stood by our side and you showed us how important it was to see things out before jumping to conclusions. So guys, we sincerely thank you. We also want to issue a huge thank you to those of you that helped spread this word and that helped spread the speculation and the fire, because without you guys, honestly, this wouldn't have gotten as much attention as it got, and we wouldn't have been able to put as many eyes on this as we were able to. So thank you guys as well. Tune in this Thursday where Marco and I are going to be flying out this afternoon to meet producer Michael. We reached out to Michael during the middle of the week because obviously he has a very large platform. We wanted to get this message out to as many people as possible, and we felt his channel would be very instrumental in doing that. We asked him if he would agree to it, and he gracefully
that's the
did.
interview he
So
did.
Thursday morning, we're going to be airing an exclusive interview with Michael to tell a little bit more details. And
Yes,
answer
producer
questions
Michael.
you guys may
Yeah.
have about all this. So
that's right.
Until next time, we will see you in the next
I
video,
forget.
guys.
So long ago. All right, I want to get nailed for the song. All right, that's oh, look at Darby. Wow, look at Darby. Two-tone tight pants Toonie. Oh boy, it just never gets better and better. Never gets better and better. Oh boy.
One, I'm young enough. Two, I'm confident enough that I'm always going to make money in something. If I gave up if I never sold another watch tomorrow, I could start selling paper cups, plastic cups, and I'll do good at it.
Just gets better. Someone that owes a lot of money, I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt.
He's fucking roasted himself. By the way, if anybody hasn't seen this yet, there has been, and I have this up on my community page, there has been a small claims court, filed against Anthony. And you can read that if you want to look through it over on my community tab. but I'll just throw us up. I'm not going to read through the entire thing here, but you can read through the entire thing if you want to. It's on my community tab. You can see it down there. And essentially, I think it's for $14,000. But just bringing some awareness to what's going on. So there are things starting to pop up, and I'll tell you. Oh man, I was just looking at some of the Reddit stuff. It's just so funny. Real quick before I get out of here, OG says Anthony's a very sad person. He clearly had an opportunity to be successful, but he has scammy mentality. I wonder if this is how his family operates. Maybe that's why he's this delusional. I think that in any particular way, just to give you my kind of, outro on this, I think a lot of these behaviors start in the household. This starts at home at a very young age. Maybe there wasn't specific values taught inside that home. Maybe there wasn't a father around in that home, because a lot of these particular types of activities start with, a fatherless home. It's a proven statistic. I'm not trying to shit on anybody or anything, but I think a lot of this stuff starts with values. The values that you take on from your parents become, you become those values. And if you don't have a good core in the home, or a very supportive family member, like single parents, like you look at my particular situation, my father was out of my life very early. I think the last time that my parents lived together, from what I remember, I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. But my mother stepped up to the plate and took on that fatherly role. Now, listen, I wasn't an angel growing up. I had my attitude problems, and I was I had a lot of outbursts, and that was a lot of just frustration from my father. But like I said, going back to what I was talking about, is a lot of these things start at the home, start in the home. And probably when he got into prison and in through that system, he learned a lot of the ways that he operates now through the people that he was in with prison, and just carried that lifestyle and that mentality on the outside. And again, this is just my opinion and evaluating from what I see here. Just remains to be seen. And I'm going to tell you right now, we have not heard the last of him, because from what I was seeing on his Instagram, where he's been posting a lot to lately, he's refreshing up on his camera techniques. He's going to be making videos again soon. Believe me, he's going to be making videos soon. This guy cannot get away from being in the spotlight. He needs to be on top all the time. I know that sounded weird, but I don't know. That's kind of my outro, my evaluation of the situation. We'll continue to cover this story as new stuff comes in. Again, LTL podcast, mostly true crime here. We expose scams, scammers, and deceptions as well. And, I want to welcome in all the new people that came over tonight to watch the stream, all my true crime peeps that have been here from the beginning. It's great to get outside of the content we've been making, as I feel like sometimes we beat the dead horse, not to be insensitive to the situation, but, how much Idaho content can we really do at this point? Anyway, I just want to let everybody know, I just reorganized my homepage. There's a lot new tabs over there. I just re-released some of my archival footage from 2022, where there's some really great interviews over there from Kelly on her own time. I did one with JJ from JJ's Watch Hangout. I have one from Marco Ferrente. So yeah, go check out those interviews if you're interested in watch content, or just interested in people in general. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up. We're just over the 2-hour mark. Again, the invitation is out there to Anthony Farah if you want to come on my podcast and talk about your situation or defend yourself in any particular way that you want to. But we will continue to report on this as new information comes in. And let's just get to some of the chats before I go on out here. Appreciate everybody. So Steve says, you keep referring to this content like it's in addition to your true crime content. Isn't scamming on the level of crime? Isn't this story true? This is true crime, bro. Yeah, I understand that. But see, what's happening here, Steve, is that we have two different audiences here tonight. So just to give you a little background on my channel started out as solely just a watch content channel. And then this channel morphed more into a true crime channel. So I have two different audiences here tonight, and they might not be understanding like what's going on. And I'm trying to meld those communities together. And I thought that tonight would be a great stream to do that in. So it's a great point that you do point up, but I'm just trying to be clear in context with my audience, because there are some people that don't understand what's going on. And that's why I just keep explaining that and kind of, referring to the two groups in that sense. But again, we'll keep reporting on this. And I also explain it as well too for new people that are coming into the channel, so they understand what's going on, because they might be like, what does this have to do with Idaho 4? We do a lot of Idaho 4 content. What does this have to do with the Long Island serial killer we talk a lot about on this? This is like watch stuff. Why is this guy talking about it? So just to give some clarity and context as to what's going on in the stream. But thank you for the question. I appreciate that. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to wrap this one up. Again, we're over the 2-hour mark. I appreciate all my watch buddies that dropped in tonight. Make sure to subscribe, upvote. If you're watching this on replay, comment down below, #replay. I really would appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow night. We're actually going to do some more Scam and Scammers. Billy McFarland is back in the news. If you don't know who that is the gentleman that came up with the original Fire Festival. He says that Fire Festival 2.0 is going to happen, and we will report on that tomorrow. And I'll leave it up to you, the audience, to judge what's going on. All right, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all come back and see some future shows. If not, go over there on the homepage and give some of my my videos some views. I would appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna hit the outro. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks. Take care. Someone that owes a lot of money, I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt.